How you doing, guys, and welcome to the video. On this video, I'm reviewing the episode 2 of the Derek Jeter documentary, The Captain, on ESPN, ESPN Plus. So on this episode, it's about Derek Jeter getting all the fame by winning Rookie of the Year in 1996 and also, of course, winning the World Series in 1996. Then covers the late 90s Yankees dynasty, the whole shebang on this episode. So I wasn't particularly didn't care for a lot in terms of like some of the highlights is on this documentary just because I already know what happened or like learn the late 90s Yankees dynasty and what they did, some of the highlighting moments, plays, games, everything. Everything. Like all I know, like before the 1996 season, the Felix Fermin possible trade by sending Mariano Rivera to Seattle Mariners and sending Derek Jeter down to AAA. And of course, Derek Jeter was on opening day roster on 1996 season because of Tony Fernandez injury, like week before the opening day. Then Jeter hits a home run on opening day, and then say rest is history. Of course, that year, great season the Yankees had in 1996. Then the playoff comes. Of course, Oriole fans, cover your ears. Jeffrey Mayer home run. Yankees facing the Atlanta Braves. That was the team. It was like the dynasty coming. Instead, the Yankees flipped the script after losing the first two at Yankee Stadium, winning three in Atlanta to, of course, winning in 1996. Then the next year, the Yankees take a step back, losing to the then Cleveland Indians to 1998 season. That's probably go down as the best baseball team of all in history. So that's about it in that cover. But for Yankee fans, it's a great memory, great nostalgia to it. It's like, oh, good old times. Wow, this was awesome. We probably never gonna see this kind of dynasty ever again in baseball. Really. And I was very, very impressed with Derek Jeter's mindset that he expressed on this documentary when he said, like, always treated playoff games like spring training game. In my mind, still the same game. You know, if you want to play every game like it's the most important game of the year, your mindset doesn't change. Like, I was very, very impressed how he said it because a lot of people do good in the regular season, but come playoff time, like they don't step up. They come up small. But Derek Jeter, he was very different. He always know how to calm himself down, knows how to step up in the right big moment, and you got to give credit to his parents. Their caretaking from his childhood led to his great success and of course getting the fame. He was the toast of the town and everything, getting all those commercials, like TV show appearances. But along the way, there was danger came along the way in terms of like Jeter's fame. He's going to get ruined by, all those clubbing and everything. And I wonder, would he have survived this whole social media era on this current age, like phones and everything, Twitter? Would he have survived? And during an interview, he says like if they have phones, I don't know. I wouldn't have long. I don't know. I wouldn't last 3 years. That's what he says. Like, it's a very, very good question, and I really like Darryl Strawberry's appearance in episode 2 because he was with the '80s Mets team. That Mets team, especially in that era, should have won more than one World Series, which was in 1986. And Darryl, we all know, had off-the-field issues along with Doc Gooden. George Steinbrenner brings him in to the Yankees, and I thought Darryl was the perfect advisor to taught and share the experiences troubles off the field to Jeter. It's like, oh, this is good, this is bad. I thought he was a very, very good advisor, and I like when he said, you can't let everybody in your circle, you got to keep your circle tight. And that's how Jeter learned how to guard his protection and be aware around the surroundings. And one of those highlights on the documentary mentioned the Pete Diddy, Jennifer Lopez club shooting. And on this moment, Jeter was like, not feeling it. I got a game tomorrow. I'm tired. Rather like, stay home and like get ready for the game, get some sleep. So in some retrospect, Derek Jeter has got all the luck. Everything good comes to him. That's been his career. He was at the right moment at the right time in every play, good moments. Even he could have gotten the bad moments. He wasn't there, luckily. So it's been that kind of blessing of human being, of course, a player as a ball player. And I like Gerald Williams said, Jeter was never chasing stardom. He was chasing success in regards to winning. That's all about Derek Jeter. He didn't care about if he gone 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts as long as team win. That's all he cared about it. Like he would have like went 4 for 4, but the team lose. He always talked about team losing. And after the 1997 season, he mentioned when he said like he remember losing more than just forgetting it. That's what his mindset about. People like teams endure like a devastating loss. You try to forget it, go back next year. No, Jeter always kept that in the back of the mind. He's like he remembers it because he had that drive for like hunger for winning. He hates losing it. Like he doesn't express in so like kind of violent way, but more methodical way, more like calmness to it. I was impressed by with this expression. Another thing that I was very, very like looking forward to in the future documentary that's gonna release is the dynamic of Jeter Alex Rodriguez relationship. Because when Jeter came up, the class of shortstop grade was Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, and Nomar Garcia Parra. And even A-Rod mentioned jealousy towards Jeter because in terms of like talent wise, A-Rod was the best player. But Jeter was like, I don't care about how good I am. I'm winning. I'm winning. That's all I care about. Jeter only care about team success and winning, regardless of like what he does, like in terms of statistic, who is better. That was the difference between Jeter and A-Rod. Definitely on this episode, definitely by far the favorite moment was the Armando Benitez hitting Tino Martinez after Bernie Williams hit a 3-run home run to take the lead in the middle of May in 1998 season. Then Benitez hit Tino Martinez, then all the huge brawl, Darryl Strawberry, Jeff Nelson, Graham Lloyd going after Benitez, and Strawberry punches him. Oh, that was mine by far the favorite highlights of the moment on this documentary, episode 2. And I was surprised why they didn't put the documentary like when the Yankees start 1-4 in 1998 and George Steinbrenner the third losing his mind. It was Brian Cashman's first year as a GM. He had all the pressure. Players had a player-only meeting. I don't know why that footage didn't surface. I was very, very surprised why that footage didn't surface. Another thing was like I was surprised like Derek Jeter did he really challenge David Wells to a fight on a field? And Jeter's like, what the hell are we talking about? He was like, that's nonsense. It's all about winning. That nonsense doesn't exist. So that's another impressive part about Jeter completely denying it. Just stone cold. None of this thing happened. It's total BS. And another thing that I was very, very like surprised to like hear on this documentary was like El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, in the morning before Game 4 of the 1998 ALCS against the then Cleveland Indians. The Yankees was down 2-1 in that series. And El Duque was serving like breakfast to the team, cleaning tables, washing dishes. Like, what the heck? Then George Steinbrenner was like, is this dude's going to come through in this biggest game of the year? It's like, I think it's somebody said like, yeah. Then after first inning, Jim Thome hits a near 3-run home run. Then he completely coasted there. And of course the Yankees won that series, 1998 World Series. They dominated the San Diego Padres and the rest of the history. Then the at the end they mentioned about the old arbitration dirtiness of the baseball business that Jeter asked for in arbitration 5.1 million, then but the Yankees counter offer with 3.6 million. So I'll be looking forward to find out what were the relationships between Jeter and the Yankees, like all these kind of arbitration hearings. I mean, the team saying bad about you, the Jeter deserve, I deserve this, I deserve the raise and everything on and on. It's like all the baseball dirty business that exists in the industry. And I'm very on this throughout the documentary. I'm annoyed with the Yankees GM Brian Cashman. Obviously the GM right now. I'm very annoyed with him. I am very annoyed with him. And I like the fact, to close out, Jeter has a Michael Jordan-esque in him. He has. Michael Jordan was more of a killer instinct. He's gonna come after you. He's gonna like kill you to death. Like he has this like kind of fantasy, like motivation to like kind of go after you, play well. Jeter was like, hey, you gonna say that nonsense to me? I'm gonna remember you in the back pocket, and I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna prove it to you. That's the kind of similarity between Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter. Totally different ball player, totally different athletes, but similar in terms of mentality that I see between those two all-time great players. So there you have it. That's my episode 2 review of the Derek Jeter documentary, The Captain. What do you think about it? Leave your thoughts below. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. See you in the next one.